Hey, Eugene here. Thanks for joining me for another video. In this video, you'll actually listen to me have another conversation. And what you'll notice on the screen, it's going to be a blank screen. You'll hear just the audio. And I will do the best that I can in actually dissecting the call and putting notes on the screen as to why I said what I said. And if there's a certain point that I want you to pay attention to, you'll actually see the words pop up on the screen. So if you're driving and you're listening to the call, if you're listening to the presentation, you may want to maybe revisit it at a different time, so that way you can actually see the subtitles, if you will, or the director's cut of why I said certain things in certain places. One thing that did stand out to me in this call is that this person talked a lot, which is actually really good when you're trying to sell somebody something. The more they talk and the less you talk, the better chances you have of actually getting the sale. However, that can actually work against you also, because sometimes people tend to just go on and on and on. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you don't want to spend the next 3 hours learning the name of every dog that they've ever owned, right? So you want to have control of the conversation as much as you can. And notice how in this call, as we would go down a rabbit hole, how I actually brought the conversation back around, so that way I had control of it. I apologize for the audio in this call. I'm not sure whether it was my connection or his connection, but there was a lot of spikes in the volume, and I think he was doing other stuff while he was talking to me, and maybe moving his phone, so sometimes you'll hear his voice spike a little bit, which in turn the audio would cut me out a little bit. So I try to do the best that I can in editing the video by increasing my volume on my end and then decreasing his. So if I blow out an eardrum, I do apologize. So just a fair warning. But there's a lot of good content in here. I try to leave as much of it as I could without editing. The one thing that I did take out is the part where we talked about, because I took the application, and the part where I was collecting the personal information, the names, addresses, socials, Medicare numbers. Of course, I cut all that out. But instead of bleeping it out like I've done in other videos, I just completely took that section out. I will have another video where you'll actually hear me do the part where I collect all the personal information, but that's going to be a lot of bleeping and a lot of editing, and I just don't have time for that right now, because I sell insurance full-time too. So if you like this kind of content, join me by subscribing, hitting like to this video, maybe sharing it if you feel that another fellow agent needs to hear something like this. Comment below what you would have done different. I would love to hear what you like about this call and what you didn't like. I want you to engage as much as you can, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I will be doing more videos like this. So if you do like the content, just hit subscribe, and you'll be able to see more and more of this kind of stuff. I will be doing more videos where you'll see me actually cold call. You'll see me run face-to-face appointments, which I normally don't do, but for the sake of this channel, I'm willing to do a few of those. And I'm really trying to push content out there to show you that it really doesn't take that much to make a living, a really good living, selling Medicare by phone or in person. I do have a company called trainedtelemarketers.com where a lot of these leads are coming from. So if you need information about that, you can check that out below. I'll have the links down in the description. And I have a data company. So in order to whether you're cold calling, whether you're mailing, whether you're using telemarketers, you need names and people to talk to. I have another company called Data Download Center where I actually acquire all these different names. I'll have that linked in the description below. I'm the owner of American Insurance Benefits, so I actually am an insurance agent first, and that's what I want to show you is because there's a lot of people out there who are influencers now in our space who don't actually sell insurance, which blows my mind. So I want you to hear raw, real conversations that I have on a daily basis, so that way you can learn from that stuff too. If you're a brand new agent and you're starting out and you don't know where to start, feel free to reach out and I'll point you in the right direction. I don't do contracts, I don't recruit agents, so you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to be the purpose of that's not the purpose of anything that I do. I've done that for a long time, and I just don't want to recruit anymore, so that's not what I'm doing. But again, if you like this kind of stuff, please feel free to like it and share it. And here comes the actual conversation. And again, fair warning, apologize ahead of time for the audio.
Hello. Hello.
Richard?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, sorry about that. Our phone is being a little funky today.
My phone is. I'm using my main phone as my cellular phone, and it's not working too good today because I was trying to talk to you and it wouldn't come on. And I got mad.
No, I get it. No, it's okay. So I guess I was supposed to call you. I don't know if you remember. I was the one that originally took the call, and I was going to put you down with the licensed agent. But
yes.
I'm the training manager here. So you're in good hands. I can assure you of that. But
okay.
I also know that you got a little bit of a problem with how much you're paying for your Aetna coverage.
Charlie and I were paying $130 a month. I was when I first started, and then it went up and up, and then I went from Omaha to Aetna because they gave me the same thing for $110 less. And that would be 2 years, was 2 years and June the 15th, to make it 2 years. Now I just got a letter saying my rate's going up, and it's going to be $317 something.
Is that just on you or the both of you?
No, this on me.
Okay.
Just on me.
And you're 75, right?
Yes.
And now, how old is Charlie?
Now, Charlie is 70.
Okay. And what's your relationship with Charlie?
Well, legally, he's my roommate. But in plain English, he's my partner. Okay. That's the way I look at it. But legally, he's my roommate, and I don't believe in this business of marriage. It's so stupid. But in the United States, they got laws for everything, but not the right thing. But Charlie legally is my, right now, I tell people he's my caretaker. If something would happen to me, he has the right to make all the decisions. And it's in my will, my living. We got everything done legal. But he got Omaha, Nebraska, and then he got right now the new one, I think it's called Medco.
Yeah, Medco.
And they didn't want me; they wanted him, and his rate's $164 a month, and it's just unbelievable. Me, 300 and something, his a beer, and I don't smoke. He smokes. He likes to drink his beer every day, but he works hard. But to me,
him and I would get along pretty well then.
Yes, he comes home in the evening, feeds the dogs. I got 8 chihuahuas, and he takes care of the animals, and then he makes my supper, and then he cooks, cleans, and then he goes to bed. And the next day he gets up and makes my oatmeal and all that, and then he goes to work, and I sit home watching my cartoons. The life of Riley.
I love it.
Yeah, but my tax is this. I have to fill out a thing for the state of Texas because at the time when I retired, it was considered low income.
Yeah.
And under Texas, that protect me. I didn't know. And then around 5 weeks ago, they send me a letter, and you have to redo it every year. And this year, there was something like 18 sheets. And I went through each one, and I just put it together, and I said, the hell with it. And then last week, I had a lady that called me last Friday, and she was from El Paso calling about my benefits. And I said, look, I don't mind getting help because of my low income, but I haven't changed in 9 years. I mean, the only money I get is what comes in from Social Security, and that's it. Well, when I open that envelope and look at it, I said, that was an insult to me. They want to know when I get up, when I go to bed, how much money I have, how much insurance, life insurance, how many. I said, lady, that's an insult to me. I don't even know what they're helping me with, but I said, I don't want it because you do more for the illegals than you do for me. And I was so upset about it. And she took all that information. She said, well, I'm going to ask you some questions. And she did, and I told her. And you know what? They approve of me.
Yeah.
So now they're going to help pay that one medical insurance I have from the government.
Got it. But now we need to do something with that Medicare supplement. Yeah. Let me ask you a quick question about Charlie. Did he just switch to Medco, or has it been a while?
Yes, he did. No, he just done it April the 1st. It came in effect for him.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check his rate also just to make sure that he's not overpaying. Do you know if he went with Plan F or Plan G or Plan N?
He went for the top of the line. The F plan, they're doing away with it. Omaha is doing away with it first of the year. But
everybody's doing away with it.
Is everybody doing that?
Yeah. It's a new law that the government passed 5 years ago to take into effect in 2020. And what that law says is, now what that means, he'll be grandfathered in.
Yeah.
He'll still keep it. So don't think that, oh my gosh, they're going to drop his insurance or whatever. But the problem with Plan F, and we're going to go into this a little bit more, but the reason why your rate has been doing those jumps that it's been doing is because Plan F is going away, and it's only going to get worse.
Yes.
And so think about it like this. Insurance is made up of healthy people and sick people. And in order for the sick people rates to stay down, because they can't penalize you for using your insurance, it's against the law. So in order to keep, quote-unquote, sick people's rates down, they need as many healthy people in this pool, and they're going to keep adding healthy people. Well, in 2020, when they're no longer adding healthy people to this pool, what's going to happen is there's not going to be anybody to offset that rate. And you're already starting to see that. That's why your rate went from 220 to 317.
Oh.
So we need to get I know Charlie got approved, and I know he went through that headache, but if we can, we need to get Charlie off of that Plan F ASAP.
Well, they got him on Plan G now, on the new plan. It's the same thing, but it's called the G plan.
Yeah, and G is now going to be experiencing the same things because G is going to be absorbing all the new people. Most people are now doing Plan N. N is the way to go. What plan is that? It's the same as G, except it's a $20 copay if you visit the doctor's office.
Oh, okay. See, that's what Charlie doesn't go to the doctor. I think maybe twice a year for a follow-up. He goes for a follow-up, and I do the same thing. I go to my doctors, and I've been doing that for 9 years, and so far my health is better now than it was 8-9 years ago. And if there's a problem, they could catch it. And they do something like, I think under the laws in Texas, at the hospital, they have to do a chest x-ray for your chest. And I asked the doctor, I said, why? And she said, that's the law. I said, what do you mean? It's for TB and all that stuff. So if they could do that law, nothing's going to surprise me.
Well, so what I'll tell you is there's really not that much difference between N and G, but if the rate increases, G right now, it gets an average between 8 and 10% rate increase a year. And N is between 1 and 3 a year. Okay. So what? Here's what's happening is you're saving some money because the premium is lower on N,
Yeah.
But where you're going to be saving money is in the rate increases, because that's really what we care about. And so you've already experienced what happens when you can't switch. You know, you've already seen that once.
Right. Yes. But see, Aetna and Omaha, they're pretty big outfits, but they've been doing that for I don't know. I mean, I started off with a low rate, and now with Aetna, they went up, oh my God, I say almost $130 in less than 2 years. That's pretty bad.
Because of this law. And that's why most people are now going to Plan N. So let me tell you something. So the way we make our money as an agency is off of the premium that you pay, we make a percentage off of it.
Okay.
Well, think about it this way. The agent, if he sells you a higher premium plan, he's going to make more money, right? It may not always be in your best interest. Whereas what we're trying to do is we're trying to look at both the need, you know, what are your needs? If you never go to the doctor's office, who cares about a $20 copay? And then on top of that, get your rate lower. So we're always going to be focused on making sure you're paying the least amount of money for the biggest bang. And so a lot of agents don't even talk about Plan N because all they really look out for is their pocketbook. Now, I'm not saying that this is what happened when Charlie was dealing with whoever he was dealing with, but that's something to keep in mind. So I'll still give you quotes on him, and then I'll give you quotes both on G and N, so that way you can make a good decision for yourself. And then I'll really do a good side-by-side comparison.
Okay. Now, I do have a habit. I worked in the medical field, so I don't take any chances. I mean, I go twice a year to my doctors, my bone specialist, my medical doctor, for everything. I go to specialists for this, for that. But it's just that if I go, let's say, 6 to 8 times a year to a doctor, that's what I have to weigh. Because now I got a lady down the street. She goes to her doctor, and she has United, and I think she's paying like $40 to $50 just to go into the door to see a specialist.
Well, that's because she has an Advantage plan. That's different. Different. Hers is not a standardized plan like yours.
Oh, well, you mean to tell me if I get a certain plan and there's a $20, is that the highest they could go, 20 on that doctor, or is it 40, 50 on a specialist?
So I'll go over all of that. So I don't want to jump the gun a little bit, but I will explain that, I promise. First thing I want to ask you is, do you have a pen handy so you can write this stuff down? Yes, I do have a pen. Let me get a piece of paper. I'll get a piece of paper. Yeah, let's do that. That way we can just go down the list of stuff, and instead of just jumping around back and forth, I'll just paint you a picture and it'll make sense for you. Okay. Let me get my notebook. Oh, okay. Come on. Okay, I got my paper. And I'm ready to go. Okay, cool. First thing I want to ask you, though. Yes. Why did Medico turn you down? What was their reason behind it? Well, she was asking me a lot of questions, and I don't believe bullshitting or lying to people. And she wanted to know, did you have this? Did you have that? Did you have any surgery? I said, well, yeah, around 8 years ago. And I was going back, and Charlie said, you should have kept your mouth shut. She was asking everything about my history, what I had in the past. When let's say back 9 years ago, when I had my my weight problem, and I didn't take care of myself, my blood pressure was up, I was overweight. You name it. But when did you apply with Medico? When did they ask those questions? Around 2 months ago, when they would, because we work with Medico too. Medico would not penalize you for something that long ago. Was there anything more recently within the last 2-3 years that they're penalizing you for? I told her that I had a sleep apnea, but I do have a machine by the bed. It's a little machine, and CPAP. I don't have to really use that because at the time
See, when they check the oxygen you're breathing, it's got to be like 95 and up. If it's under 95, it's bad. Well, I was down to 62, and I was in bad shape. I had oxygen tank. I had all that. Well, through the proper care and all that, I don't have it anymore, and I don't even use this machine here that I do have, and it's by my bedside. And I told my guy, I said, do I? She said, not really, because you're around 90% better. You really don't, you know. But she said, I would like you. And I said, yeah, but I don't use it. This sits there. And then I had, what do you call, varicose veins. I don't have what they thought, what do you call, poor circulation. I don't have poor circulation in my legs. They did a check, and there was some veins that I didn't need down there. Instead of them popping out on a vein, you know, on your legs, they took those out. And I never had a problem with it.
The doctor did not call it neuropathy or anything, did he?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. And it was things like that, and I went all the way. I wasn't going to hide anything. Why, you know?
Well, they're
and
going to
then
find
my
out
medication.
Anyway. Yeah, you don't have to lie enough. Yeah, they would find out anyway. So the surgery to fix, how long ago was that surgery?
Oh, I think that big surgery was in September 2009.
Oh, yeah, that's too far. Yeah, they wouldn't care about that.
Yeah. And then when on my veins, when they went in to take, there was 2 veins that he wanted to go in there and take them out because there were, I don't know, I didn't need them. And he thought it would be best for me, and that was last year, I think, or 2 years ago.
Okay. All right, let me look real quick.
Okay. And I don't wear those socks, you know, when you have to have them. What do you call it? Compression socks. Mm-hmm. I don't wear those.
Yeah. All right.
But when I was bad around 4 years ago, when it's pretty bad with my weight and everything, I had to wear them all the way up to my cojones, and then everything's perfect.
What is your height and weight now?
107, 5'7".
Got it.
And that's 222 pounds.
Okay. I hear the doggies.
Yeah, I'm going to open the door and let them in. They're outside barking at the neighbors. Come on, guys, get in here. Come on. There you go. Come on. Oh, there you go. Come on, guys. Okay. I'm on the phone, so don't make no noise. I'm back.
All right, cool.
Hello?
Yeah. Hey,
that's the guy taking.
Richard, do you want me to maybe call you back a little bit? I can do that.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So right now, just to make sure, currently you have the CPAP machine for the sleep apnea.
Yes.
You have the arthritis that you're taking the medication for.
Arthritis, I'm taking that Celebrex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you taking? Anything else?
Okay, I'm taking the Celebrex I'm taking, and I'm taking a blood pressure tablet, and I'll spell the name for you.
Okay.
LISINOPRIL.
Got it.
10 milligrams once a day.
Okay.
And I don't take the cell. I stopped taking that around a month ago to see how I feel, since that was brought up, and I said, well, maybe that's something I really don't need, but I just stopped taking it, period.
Okay.
And the sleep app, I don't eat, and I'm going to see her end of the month, Dr. Yu. Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm going to ask you a bunch of really, really complicated medical questions.
Okay.
So actually, before I say all that, let me say this. I'm on your side. I don't get paid unless you're approved. Okay?
Right.
The
Yeah.
insurance company knows that.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you the questions like the insurance company would ask you. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And you
Okay.
only say yes or no. I'm glad that you elaborated with me because I need to know this stuff.
Okay.
Because they're gonna find out anyways.
Okay.
What I need is I'm gonna ask you these questions, and you just give me a simple yes or no without elaborating, which is exactly how you're gonna do it with the insurance company.
Okay.
So anything that's happened outside of the 2 years, 3 years, or whatever window I tell you, you do not elaborate because that's what hurt you when you applied with Medico.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you these medical questions. You answer yes or no truthfully, and then I'm going to give you some prices on some companies. There is a lot of savings, but we're going to talk about the strategy second. Let me make sure I can get you approved first, okay?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So simple yes or no.
All right. Okay.
All right. So to the best of your knowledge and belief, so let me give you some rates.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you rates for Plan G and Plan N, and then I'm gonna describe the two, so that way you have a really good understanding of how both work, and those numbers will actually make more sense then.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do Plan G first because that's what Charlie has.
Okay.
Which is the plan that's replacing Plan F. But remember, so when you're taking your notes right now, make sure you put on there that Plan G has higher rate increases than N. So G, higher rate, but higher rate increases.
Okay. Plan G. High. Okay.
Okay. So the lowest rate is $175.03.
175.03.
There's a bunch of like small no-name companies that are in between that I'm not going to list. I don't recommend doing any kind of business with a small insurance company. So I'm not even going to go through those, okay?
Okay.
So if you talk to someone else and they say, yeah, you probably get 171, that's just a small company. Don't do anything with it.
Right.
So the lowest rate I would recommend is 175.03. It's called GPM.
GPN. Okay.
M as in Mary, or mutual.
GPM. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Humana is at 177.89.
Humana is 177.89. Okay. Is that the G too? A G plan?
All of these are G right now. So I'm giving you three companies.
Okay.
So that way, you can choose whichever one you want.
Okay.
And then the next one is Mutual of Omaha at 185.88.
185.88. I think I
over Plan N real quick.
Okay, Plan N.
So Plan N, I'll give you the rates. It's 146.62 for GPM.
146.52.
62.
Oh, 52. GPM.
So it's 146.
Okay, I got that.
So
GPM.
the biggest difference between G and N is that G does not have a copay, but N does have up to a $20 copay at the doctor's office, regardless of what doctor or what specialist. Is just up to 20.
Okay.
And then up to 50 at the emergency room. God forbid you want to go to the emergency room, it's up to 50.
Now, I did use an emergency room one time. I got bleach in my eye. So
how long ago?
Oh, that was years ago.
Okay,
I don't know.
That's okay. No problems there.
Yeah.
And then the other biggest difference is excess charges. And so the way excess charges work is if the doctor accepts Medicare patients but does not accept Medicare assignment, he can charge up to 15% above and beyond what the doctor and what Medicare approve. But I can find out real quick for you whether or not your doctor charges extra charges on Medicare's website if you'd like. And if they don't charge extra charges, then you don't have to worry about those.
Yeah.
What's your doctor's name?
Dr. Joseph.
Junior.
I tell him that, and he looks at me funny. I said, Doctor, I've known him for years, and then he became my doctor because my other doctor retired, and he's a friend of the family. But he said, see, when I didn't have insurance, I went to him and I paid him cash, and he always gave me a discount, and he's a pretty good guy. But he makes all my decisions. What he tells me, I do. I don't bet an eye. He's the best of the best.
Where is he located?
Off from Fannin Street, Fannin. Mm-hmm.
So he accepts Medicare approved payment amounts. What that means is he would not charge you excess charges.
No, he has not. No, I go in there and Medicare pays him, and then the secondary takes over.
Yeah. So Plan N does not cover excess charges, but but because your doctor does not charge those excess charges, that really doesn't matter. So the only thing that you would pay is up to $20 to go see him.
Yeah.
So you'd go from $175.03 down to $146.62 for Plan N, but the only thing is if you do go, you'd pay up to $20 for a copay, and that's it.
Yeah. And see, I go to him at least twice a year for my checkup.
And so here's a little pop quiz for you. Do you know what the major difference between N and G is as far as the rate goes?
No.
All right, look at your notes. You're taking notes.
Well, I look at the dollar sign.
Right. But what's more important than the dollar sign is those rate increases. Do you remember what I told you as far as rate increases?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the rates on certain ones like Aetna, they went up from, well, in 2 years, they went up to 220 to 317. That's a pretty big jump, isn't it?
But remember this, Plan G, remember I told you the average rate increase on Plan G is what?
I believe you said 3%?
That's Plan N.
Oh, Plan N, okay, 3%.
And Plan G is what?
Around 10, 18?
Yeah, 10. Yeah. So between 8 and 10%. So Plan N is not only lower in premium, so you need to write that down in case Charlie asks.
Okay.
So not only is it lower in premium, the rate increases are a lot lower.
Yeah. Okay. And that's the only difference is the a copay? Is that the only cover? Now, what about the emergency room? Does it cover that?
Yes.
Does it cover the 911 ambulance? See, in Houston, the city charges for an ambulance, get this, $1,000.
Yeah, so everything else is the same. There is no difference between G and N except that $20 copay in your case.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like... When I say the same, I really mean the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Meaning there is no difference.
Yeah.
So except that $20 copay.
Right. That's the only difference. Yeah.
So what a lot of people do is, because one of the biggest problems that Medicare has is that there's a huge gap as far as cancer benefits.
Okay.
And God forbid somebody gets diagnosed with cancer. So 1 in every 3 people right now gets some form of cancer.
Okay.
And what happens is Medicare before would just cover cancer, at 80%, and then your supplement, Plan G or N, would pick up 20%.
Right.
Well, now what they're doing is they're funneling a lot of those cancer medications that normally would be covered under Medicare. They throw that into Part D as in David, or drugs, your drug plan.
I got that.
Right, and people are finding that they're in the donut hole and they're out of pocket $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000.
Yeah.
For when they get diagnosed with cancer. So what a lot of people do is they save the money on Plan G by going with Plan N, because remember, lower rate and then lower rate increases, and then they pick up an extra $30 a month plan. Consider it like a rider, if you will. It's a good insurance term, people. So they pick up additional cancer benefits. And for $30 a month, it helps pay that huge gap that cancer would leave you. God forbid you get diagnosed with it. So
now, would that be something like a John Wayne cancer? John Wayne, the movie star. It came out years ago with the policy, and it was like $17. But it covers you up to $150,000 of treatment. If you need a special treatment and all that, it will cover that, whatever it costs, up to $150,000. It's something like that.
Yes, you're thinking along the same terms. So if you get diagnosed with cancer,
Yes.
for an extra $30 a month, you can get an extra $10,000 in benefit for cancer.
Okay.
And so what a lot of people are doing is they're going from Plan G to Plan N. They're saving that $30 because notice that the difference in coverage isn't all that much. So they're saving that $30 and then they're applying it towards a cancer plan. And so it would be a $146.62 for the Plan N, and then an additional $30 a month for a $10,000 cancer policy, which is perfect because it covers that donut hole that you find yourself in if you get diagnosed with cancer. So I highly recommend that. That's what most people are doing, and you're still saving a ton of money.
Well, I have, when I got the cancer thing, what you're talking about, I got that with Omaha, and I pay them each month. It's like $17, something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, if I get another policy, I'd be breaking the law. I can't have two of the same policy. But I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Okay, but because the one I got now, it's an extra plan in case you have cancer, and it won't cover the treatment. And you're talking about these treatments, $30,000-$40,000 for the drug for the cancer. That people don't have that kind of money because the lady down the street had cancer, and her shots were like $35,000. Give me a break, people.
Here's the thing. Yes, you could have multiple cancer policies, but what if you don't want treatment?
Okay.
Like my grandmother, she passed away at 63.
Oh, so young.
So she got diagnosed with cancer, but it was very aggressive, it was very serious, and she said, "Screw it. I'm not going to suffer for the next 2, 3, 4 years to prolong this agony. I'm just going to die." But before she died, she wanted to live a little. And so the cancer plan that I'm talking about will write you a check regardless of whether or not you have treatment.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I never heard of that.
Right.
Okay.
So you can get a check for $10,000 that you can use for whatever you want. And you know what? If you do decide to get treatment, more power to you. You know, let's say Charlie needs to go with you and needs to stay at a hotel because you guys are 4 hours from home. Let's say you go to Dallas to a cancer facility there or whatever, right? And Charlie now has to live in a hotel room because he's bringing you meals because there's no way you're going to be eating that hospital food, whatever. That $10,000 check will pay for his hotel stay because they don't care what you use it towards. The check is made out to you. That's tax-free.
Okay.
So I recommend doing the $146.62 Plan N with GPM and then add another $10,000 a month cancer plan for $30 a month.
Okay.
That's a no-brainer.
$10,000 each month?
No, it's a $10,000 one-time check.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
That you can use towards whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, you can't beat that. That's a good deal. That's a good saving.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'm going to take out your information. We're going to go ahead and apply you for GPM. Remember, simple yes or no answers, questions.
Yes.
Don't elaborate. And then I'll fill out the application for GPM. They have a one-time $25 application fee that is refundable if you don't get approved. Okay. And then we'll fill out the application for the extra $30 a month for that cancer.
Okay.
All right. So give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this application, and we're going to go ahead and fill this out and submit everything, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Give me just a second. I'll put you on a brief hold. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply you for that Plan N. We'll apply you for that cancer plan, get everything submitted. Do not cancel what you have now until you hear back from me.
Okay.
It's going to take about 3 to 5 days for us to get an approval. They may or may not call you. If they do call you, very simple, yes or no, don't elaborate. And then hopefully we'll start saving you money as soon as possible.
Okay. And automatically, if they approve, will it be, if they approve, how long does it take to work in? When did they
Um,
start?
We're going to shoot for a June 1 effective date.
Okay. Okay.
So because I think we have enough time to get you approved and canceled. If for some reason not, we'll do July 1, but we're going to shoot for June 1. I always like to shoot high.
Yeah, I would try for July or June.
Okay, that's good. All right, so I'm going to ask you some really, really important questions.
Okay.
Go ahead and get your Medicare card out.
Okay, I'll get it. Okay.
And then while you do that, give me your first, middle initial, and last name, just like it
My
appears
first
on the Medicare card.
That everything together.
Got it. Very cool. And so what's going to happen is when we submit this information, you're going to get two emails.
Okay.
The first email is just going to be your quote, your outlines of coverage, your disclosures. It's going to be a blank application packet. You don't have to fill it out because that's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Terms and disclosures, and then a buyer's guide. So you're going to get a whole bunch of crap in an email.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't do anything with it. Read it if you're bored or if you have a hard time sleeping. Just go ahead and read it, put you right to bed.
Okay.
And then you're going to get another email that's going to be your signature.
Okay.
So you look out for that email, and it's going to take you to a page. You're going to click a couple buttons and hit submit. Are you pretty good with the computer?
No, but Charlie is.
Okay, all right. He'll help you then. And then you'll click a couple buttons and you'll hit submit, and that will submit your application. You should have that within the next couple hours.
Okay.
Once we send that your way, I will call you to kind of put it on your radar to do that.
Okay.
Don't
Now that'll come today. That will come today.
Yes.
Okay.
Do not cancel your existing coverage.
Okay.
Until you hear back from us. Give me about 3 to 5 business days, and then I will call you with an approval and the green light to cancel. But right now, don't do anything.
Okay.
One more thing before I hit submit. They want to know if you want to include some dental, vision, hearing coverage with this, because I know that's something Medicare doesn't cover.
What's that? Well, I go to my one dentist here, and he is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, for an extra $45 a month, I recommend it, and you're still saving a bunch of money.
How does that work? Do they pay me or they pay him? I don't know if he takes insurance.
So if the dentist does not take insurance, they'll pay you.
Because I had a filling done around 6 weeks ago. It was $235 for one filling.
Yeah, you need this. Yeah. So, if you can afford to take some of your savings and invest it into some dental coverage, I highly recommend it. You'll sleep better.
Okay. Can I put that on hold and I could tell Charlie about it?
Well, the reason why they're asking right now is because since it's all part of the same application, go ahead and just do it.
Okay.
But we're saving $150 a month?
Yes. Now, on the dentist, do they? I don't know too much about dentists, but I know the cleaning. I go twice a year. The cleaning is $125. The cleaning.
Yeah. So that would
and then
that would definitely help. So think about it like this. Think of it as a savings account that will always replenish itself. If you're already paying for that stuff out of pocket, might as well just pay a little bit for the insurance and get all that stuff covered. Okay.
And one guy got to give the green light right now. Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just do it now, and then if you change your mind, it's a lot easier just to withdraw the application.
Okay, let's do it now.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and submit all this stuff. Don't cancel anything until you hear from us, and then I'll call you later today with the signature stuff. One more question for you. What's your mother's maiden name?
My mother's maiden name was Ann Green.
Okay.
My mom and dad were killed in 1943, so I was an orphan.
Oh, my gosh. What happened?
Yeah. He was in the service. He was a gunner in the Air Force, I believe, in the Army, in the plane. She died. I was born in Buffalo as a preemie. I don't know if she died at birth or whatever, But I was in the orphanage for 12 years, and then they put me in a foster home, and then they pushed me around, and then I went on my own, and I did pretty good. But otherwise, yeah.
75 years later, here we are, right?
Yep, 75 years. Yeah, we're here, yeah. Yes, yes.
Well, I'm glad that this is working out. Anything I can do, my name is Eugene.
Okay.
Call me anytime, okay? And you have my information.
Okay,
and,
what's your number? I don't have your number here.
Well, it's 1-800
800
729
729
9590.
9590.
It's the same number you called me on when you missed my calls. I just save it in your phone. Just put me in there as Eugene, the insurance guy.
Okay, Eugene. Okay,
Yeah.
I could do that. Okay. Now you're going to call me later about signing that thing and send it. Okay.
Correct. Yes. So you're going to hear from me one more time by the end of today.
Okay.
And if I have any other questions, we'll just finalize everything then.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
what
so
I'm going to do now is go take my nap. I take a nap every day.
Take one for the both of us, okay?
Well, I take a nap with my new baby. I got a baby kitten, a cat in the house, a Russian blue cat.
Oh, that's great.
It was lost. They found it, and the doctor, he saw me. He said, "Look at this," and I saw. Oh, she's gorgeous. I adopted her. She's wonderful.
Well,
her and I take a nap.
So how old is she now?
Doctor said she was at least 2 years old, but she had baby teeth. I thought she was under a year.
Gotcha.
And she was filthy. She was full of worms, everything. And he did all that, and then he did a hysterectomy for nothing. He said, "Rich, I'm going to do that." I said, "I can't afford it. $300-400. He said, "Don't worry about it." But I got her shots and all that. But she is beautiful. But she does not like my chihuahuas. They scare her. So that's why she's in the bedroom.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good nap, and you're going to be out for a couple hours, so I won't call you for, what is it? It's 12:30, 1:30. I won't call you before 3:30 your time.
Okay. I'll have see, I had my phone here in the kitchen, my cellular phone. I went in the bedroom to look at my television because I got one of these you call smart television, a Samsung. And I'm trying to hook up on the ROKU. It's a TV app where you get the movies and all that. And that's where I was, and I didn't hear my phone ring this morning. And I said I should have taken it with me. But now I'll take the phone in the bedroom with me. And if you call me, I better hear it, or I'm going to be really, really in bad shape then.
Yeah. If you can, try to look out for my call because we got to get this thing signed and sent underway so they can start working on it because I'm going to try to save you that money as soon as possible.
How do you sign a piece of paper on a computer?
It's just a couple check marks, and so they track your location when you do it, so that way they know it's you. So whenever you hit the check mark, and if you have any trouble with that, there's another way we can do it. We're going to try it this way because it's easier. We'll have Charlie help you. And then the other thing is whenever you're done with Charlie, maybe in a couple of days we can talk to him and see if we can get him off that Medico and get him on that Plan N and save him some more money.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that let's get you taken care of first, and then see if we can get Mr. Charles taken care of second.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, you have a good nap, and I'll call you in a couple hours.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Bye-bye.